Hello, welcome to Magic Mondays. My name is Jen Cushman, and I am an empathic intuitive and a Reiki master and an angel medium. And I have consistently been doing my Magic Monday lives, and you guys have been coming for 2 years now. So last week was my 2-year anniversary of my intuitive business and the COVID pivot that I did. And last week was a little interesting because my team, my spirit team, my guides and angels decided they wanted to put me through the paces. And they basically told me to open up the readings last week and just fit in as many readings as I could with the life purpose deck from Doreen Virtue. So I thought I did 21 readings in 45 minutes, but I went back and edited the lives, because I've been doing that now and putting them on my YouTube channel, the edited version of them. And we did 21 readings in 40 minutes. So that was a lot. So that was special. I enjoyed it. I had a really good time with all of you. And it did feel like I was going through a little bit of spiritual training. So I've been swimming consistently and doing that 3 times a week, where I swim a mile each time I go to the gym. And my main spirit guide, my main guardian angel, Archie, told me that basically the team wanted to be my swim coach, and they wanted to put me through the paces last week, and they wanted me to really get in and practice. So it was by doing all of those readings as fast as I did, it was almost like swimming my laps in the pool as fast as I could. I felt myself talking really quick to try to get everybody in. I did not take much of a breath and I was going fast. I was definitely getting the throat chakra, needing a drink and those kind of things, but I really felt like I couldn't even stop to do that, to be honest, because I was so afraid I wouldn't get to everybody if I took a breath. So nice to hear, nice to be here and to be back to my normal kind of plan for today. Okay, so that's where we're at. Okay, so the first thing, I'm just checking in real quick. So the first thing I want to do is I want us to take some deep breaths together. That's going to help me to make sure that I can move into our topic of the day. So I just want to take nice 3 deep breaths together. Remember, it is my belief that in our fast-paced world these days that we just don't stop and breathe enough. And breath is the key. Breath brings awareness back to the body. Breath actually settles the brain down. Breath allows us to get back into our heart for a moment. And breath allows us to make better decisions whenever we take a breath. So breath is so incredibly important for awareness. And I really think we just need to breathe more. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. We're going to do it in my normal count, which is we're going to breathe in for 6. We're going to hold it for 4, and we're going to breathe out for 8. All this count does is it gives your brain something to keep you busy. So you are, you give your brain a task and it likes to do it. The other point about this is that you are breathing out deeper than you're breathing in. And that is really, really important in order to engage your parasympathetic nervous system. So, okay, feet on the floor, don't cross your legs, don't cross your arms, and we're just going to breathe together and then I'll get started, okay? So let's go. Go ahead and wiggle your neck and your shoulders right here. Most of us carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, and this is always really tense. So if that's tense for you, on the out breath, just go ahead and wiggle your arms and shoulders and your neck and just let go of any tension that you have. Good. Last one. Good job. How does that feel? Hopefully you guys are feeling pretty good here. So hi, Colleen, nice to see you. I'm checking in here. Oh, Sherry says it's after 2 there. keep forgetting West Coast versus East Coast. Okay, Bella, I'm glad that you are actually okay and you're not sick from school today. So, okay, you guys, today's topic is a brand new topic. I have not talked about this one yet. And again, when I was swimming, because my swimming is kind of a moving meditation when I do that this morning. So I was just kind of swimming, and then I was checking in with my team to see what we should talk about today. Normally I do this a little bit later in the week, so I'm more prepared on Mondays, but as you know, it was Mother's Day weekend. Also, my college-aged son graduated from college this week, so yay, if you guys want to give me hearts, because I'm telling you, getting that kid through college during COVID was not an easy thing to do, but he stuck with it, he got through, and he has his degree in computer science right now. So we did it, we did it, we did it. We went down, we had a big family party, and then also Mother's Day. So I was on the run. I was on the run last week and also on the weekend. So this morning is when I actually got a chance to check in with my team. It was during the swim. And one of the things they told me is that we really have never spoken about the importance of integration. And I was like, oh, that is awesome. That is such a good topic. Because when I work with people on more than just a one-off reading, right? So more than just pulling cards or just having an empathic reading, when I really start to work with people and we want to go deep on things and we want to pick a topic, so it's more like coaching, spiritual life coaching. One of the things that we do is we have our sessions, but I don't like to meet weekly when we're doing more in-depth things, because I have found that when we meet weekly, people get really excited because they want to make change and they really want to move forward and they really want to do this and they really want to hit it. And we meet weekly. But one of the things that happens is there's not enough time for integration, right? So it means that you are always, that we're in this moving instead of the allowing and the being and the embodying phase. So that's why I think integration is really important. Also, in the self-help community, right? So in the personal development, spiritual consciousness, human consciousness communities, all of this that kind of gets lumped under one umbrella of personal development these days, right? Although that's a really wide topic. One of the things that rarely ever gets discussed in this field is integration. And I think I really do believe it's our culture. We like to just be human doings instead of human beings. Life moves really fast. Technology moves fast. There's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of things to constantly do. There's a lot of things to keep our lives going. We need to work. We need to play, we need to cook, we need to do laundry, we need to clean the house, we need to, meet with clients, we need to do all of that. So just by nature, and particularly in 21st century life, we are always doing, we are doing, which is why you guys will always hear me constantly talk about self-care being a spiritual act, really making sure to ask you guys and inspire you or to talk to you about making sure, do you have a self-care act? Are you getting in some exercise? Are you choosing the right foods for yourself? Are you taking time for quiet time? All of those things are incredibly important, because if we're not doing those things and we are a constant human doing and we never get a chance to be a human being, then we're going to burn the candle at both ends and we're going to burn ourselves out and we're going to burn out our adrenals. We're going to put cortisol through our body. We're going to have a hard time getting the weight off. And girlfriends, boyfriends, I'm telling you, brothers, sisters, the reason why this is such a huge topic for me is because I have learned. I had to experience this stuff myself and heal myself from it in order to get to this particular point in my life where happiness and peace and calm and compassion can be my daily existence. But it came with the school of hard knocks. It came with having to do a lot of work and then trying to figure out how to integrate it, which is to embody it. So, okay. So spiritual integration is really about living. That's what I want you to talk about. So you are most likely, everybody who's here, we are all seekers, right? You wouldn't be hanging out with me on Monday, right? You wouldn't be hanging out with me on these Mondays if you weren't a spiritual seeker. You just wouldn't, right? You wouldn't give up your time for this kind of talks and these things that are, you know, this 7 spiritual laws and all the other things that I love to talk about, manifestation, all of these things that I've learned. So that comes from being a spiritual seeker. It also comes from the one thing that you guys, we all share, and that's we all share a belief in a higher power. So we share a belief in something bigger than us, right? You can call it the universe, you can call it God, you can call it Mother, Father, God, you can call it the goddess, you know, you can call it source, you can call it anything you want to call it. You can label it anything you want to label it. However, whatever we label it, right? Whatever we name it, whatever we do for our own comfort, we have an inherent belief that there is something bigger and greater than us. And then a lot of you also have a belief that I do, that you have a team with you. You have angels, you have spirit guides, you have a team of unseen beings, unseen souls, presence, life force, energy that is on the other side, that is here to help us in this physical life form. So if you didn't have that belief, or at least a curiosity about it, or at least openness to it, you wouldn't be here with me either on Mondays. So I'm just going to start with those 2 presuppositions. Always, every Magic Monday, the presupposition for me is that if you're here hanging out with me, you believe in something greater and bigger than you, and that you also believe, or at least open and curious to guides and angels. Okay. So from a spiritual belief, right? From a spiritual thing, it means that we have been studying, learning, seeking, growing, changing ideas, right? Maybe philosophical thoughts, maybe personal development thoughts, maybe we have been studying manifestation. Whatever it is, we have been putting a lot of our mental plane, we've been putting a lot of mental energy into seeking, learning, finding that information, right? And then that information that comes in changes us. It opens our mind, it opens our brain, it opens our awareness, it opens our possibility, and it changes us. But if we only keep that information up here, right? Excuse me, let me take a break. If we only keep that information in our big, beautiful brains, as I like to call them, if we're only reading and constantly reading and studying and thinking, then we are not integrating it, right? We are just keeping it on the mental plane. Now, remember, we have our bodies, we have 4 bodies, really. We have a spiritual body, we have an emotional body, we have a physical body, and we have a mental body. And everything we think, do, feel operates on all of these bodies. And I am all about wholeness and holistic health and integrative health and all of those things. So when I work with you guys, whenever I work with anybody, I'm working on which plane of existence do we need to work on? What are we needing to deal with? Are we needing to have emotional release? Are we needing to think about things in a new way? Are we needing to change our belief system, open them up in a different way? Are we needing to work on our physical? What are we doing? So that is part of what the spiritual body is. The spiritual body is when we are having these thoughts, you know what I mean? These bigger thoughts of what is our purpose? Who are we? Where are we? What are we doing? All of those things. So integration is when we take the time to move it from our head to our heart. It's when we take the time to take these concepts that we think about, the things that we learn, the things I love to teach and talk about, the things I like to learn, because we always teach what we most want to learn ourselves or what we most need to learn ourselves. And then actually move that energy from our big, beautiful brains, and we move them into our heart, we move them into our body, and we embody them. That's what integration is. We embody it, right? We make it physical. So here's a perfect example on the physical plane, right? So the physical plane is I would like to eat healthier. I would like to make more healthy choices. I am going to make the decision to add more water into my diet every single day, drink more water because I know it's good for me. And I'm going to choose more high fibers. So I'm going to choose more fruits and vegetables over maybe some of my other favorite foods that might be more carbs, rice, whatever, right? So this is a very simple example, okay? So what do you do when you decide you want to make health changes like that and health choices? The first thing most of us do is we start researching, right? So we start researching the different diets out there. Are we going to do keto? Are we going to do Mediterranean? Are we going to go with our doctor? Are we going to do Pritikin? Are we going to, whatever, so we start researching those diets and we start learning and teaching ourselves and expanding our brain. What are the different ways that we can start to eat healthier so we can feed our bodies more nourishing, more helpful foods? Now, you can read all the diet books you want. You can read all of the articles online you want. But if you don't actually go down to the grocery store and actually put those apples in your shopping cart and take them home and eat them instead of chocolate cake, you're not going to be integrating that which you just spent all the time learning, right? So we have to integrate it. We have to bring it into the physical, and we have to make it part of our daily life and therefore change our habits or at least get new habits. That's what integration is. Integration is about embodying it and really moving from being a human doing into be a human being in whatever it is that you are trying to change, accomplish, move forward, grow, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. Okay, hopefully we have that concept. Let me look on my notes really quick. Kelly Gustus, of course I have my sticky notes. I say that every single week because I have them, but I'm always reminding you that I have them. So moving them from our head to our heart, from conceptual, which is in our thinking brain, to practical, which means it's in our daily life. So integration is huge, you guys, and we don't think about this. This is not something we ever cognate. We do in a way where it's like, oh, I bought that program, or oh, I bought that tape, or oh, I have my gym membership. I need to get down there, right? That's integration. And we will say those things to ourselves, but usually we say them in a way of shame or guilt or, negative self-talk and those kind of things. We don't usually think about integration as a concept, and then we don't usually make integration a positive, intentional thing we do in our life. And that is why I'm having this conversation with you, my friends, because I want integration to become an awareness for you. And I also want you to possibly think about it as a very positive, vibration, a very positive way of like, yay, I get to integrate today. Oh my gosh, I get to practice. I get to take that recipe that I found that sounds yummy, and I actually get to go practice it. I get to go down to the grocery store. I get to buy all these fun ingredients. I get to get it home. I get to make it, and I get to eat it. Yay, I'm integrating. So that's what I want you to do, is I want you to think about integration that way. I want you to think about it in an uplifting way, because our thoughts create our things and our self-talk matters. And so if you're going to make changes in your life and you're doing them because you want them to be positive, then let's make the integration phase positive as well, because it's going to make it more fun, and it's going to make it easier, and it's going to make it better. It's going to make it just easier to create a habit, a lifelong habit. Okay. Okay, let me look at my notes really quick and make sure that I'm not off track, okay? So, yep, instead of just thinking about it, you are ready to become it. So integration means I'm ready to become it, and I'm ready to make it part of my daily life. Now, let me go on to this little sticky note I have here, because this was part of the research I did. So I want to read you something really quick. I want you to just read you the definition of, oh, Julie's here. Thank you. Hi, Julie. Just saw that. Okay, I want to read you the definition from psychotherapist Robert A. Johnson. And I love this definition, okay? You guys, this speaks to my soul, and it speaks to you guys as my tribe. So this is why I want to read you this definition. So again, psychotherapist Robert A. Johnson definition: to integrate a mental state is to successfully absorb it. Meaning that I love it, right? To successfully absorb it. So it's not just in our brains, we have absorbed it into our bodies. We have somatically taken it on and said, yes, hell yes, this is what I want to do. I have absorbed it, right? And then mental state, to successfully absorb it, meaning that you can, I love this part too. Listen to this really closely, and I'm going to say it again. Meaning that you can now move on to other matters without suffering an energy drain that comes from unfinished business. Okay, I'm going to read that again because I'm like, what? Wowza, right? To integrate is a mental state. To integrate a mental state is to successfully absorb it, meaning that you can now move on to other matters without suffering an energy drain that comes from unfinished business. Okay. So of course I love it because here's a psychotherapist acknowledging energy as a vibration, energy as a real true thing. We all know we are made of energy. We all know we have a finite amount of energy. We know that we need to be human doings, but we also need to be human beings because we need to relax and integrate, right? So I love that. I love that. And then the other part about that, think about it, okay? Integration, when we actually move something from our mental state into our heart space and our somatically into our body space, it means that what do? We free up space. It's kind of like going in and cleaning up all of your hard drive or cleaning up your phone, right? It's all those little pieces and all those little files and all that sticky little icky, ticky-tacky stuff that just kind of hangs out in there. And if we don't ever get a chance to wipe that slate clean, then we will do squirrel a lot, right? You know, how many times have you been thinking about something and then all of a sudden squirrel, you think about something else and you're off on another tangent? It's because you actually haven't taken the time to go in and wipe the slate clean in order to get rid of all of that excess, like excess fuzz, dirt, you know, dust bunnies of your brain. So integration is really, really important because integration allows you time to clean out those dust bunnies, to clean out all the fuzziness, you know, to come in and just really kind of wipe it out. And then what does it do? It frees up memory, right? It frees up space in your program for something new to come in, right? I love that. So I think that's really awesome, you know, that it clears space in our minds to allow the new to come in. So we can even, you know, so there's new that will come in, or it allows us to wipe our brains free a little bit to get rid of that ticky-tacky stuff, to get rid of the fuzz and the dust bunnies of all the extraneous stuff that we learned that maybe doesn't apply to us in our lives at this time. And then by getting rid of that extraneous stuff, it allows us to take what we've learned and maybe go deeper with it, right? To really delve deeper into the subject, to really take the pieces that have meaning for us and really bring it in even further. Okay? Okay, you guys. So do you have any questions on that? I'm kind of at the end. I try not to, I try not to overwhelm you with information, and I try not to talk too much because, you know, talking for 20-25 minutes, but that's really what I wanted to talk to you about today. I just wanted you to have that. I wanted you to have the concept of integration. I know it's something we all know. I don't really tell you anything in the Magic Mondays that you don't already know. You know, this is information that's available to all of us. It's just that my team gives me information and advice of where we might need the help right now. The last thing I want to say about this topic of integration is energetically right now, we are in eclipse season. Okay. Now, I have told you in the past, I am not the best astrologer. I am not the best moonwalker, or, you know, in terms of knowing where the planets are and all that stuff, you know, that's just not really, I have so many other things I focus on that I really am not able, I have not gone deep on that. I do stay informed of it because what I have learned over the years is that my own personal energy is affected by what's going on in the planets out there. I do feel a difference in my own body and my own energy during new moons and full moons. I definitely feel different energy in my body when planets are shifting and changing and adjusting. I definitely feel different energy in my body when I get to the ocean and I'm around the tides of high tide and low tide. I really am an energetic being, much more kinesthetic is my first way I learn, and I'm energetic. So what I want you to know is that we are in eclipse season right now, and we are actually in between eclipse right now. So if you are feeling out of sorts, I have woken up every single night at 3:15, literally on the dot, 3:15. I have woken up every single night at 3:15 on the dot for the last 9 days. 9 days, 3:15. Not 3:14, not 3:16, 3:15. And that is happening to me. And that is an energetic response. I talked to my naturopathic doctor about it, and because she knows how energetic I am, and she's so fantastic. And she actually was explaining to me that we all go through different phases of sleep every single night. You know, we go in REM, out of REM, we have tossing and turning, we always move that. Most of us end up just going through our energetic phases at night we kind of stay asleep through it. For me, for some reason, I am just really sensitive to that 3 a.m. wake up time. So I want you to know, I just want you to know that if any of you out there are feeling a little out of sorts, if you are feeling a little tired, I guess that's one thing. If you're waking up in the middle of the night, if a lot of people around you are really prickly and you can't figure out why they're being prickly, but you are not so prickly and you just kind of want to retreat from them right now, just know that it's perfectly okay, that energetically that is what is happening. And part of what I want to do here on Mondays is to also let you guys know kind of what's going on out there, what I'm feeling. So that way I know there's a lot of empaths in my community, and, you know, you may not be able to speak to your own team quite as well as I speak to my team yet. So I'm just passing on some information. So hopefully you feel better. Okay. Okie dokie. Oh, that's a lot. Hitomi, I'm going to take a nice big drink of water, and then you can go ahead and get people lined up, because I think that's all the love and learn talking I want to do. So Deborah says, love this and can be challenging. Yes. So Deborah, tell me what part can be challenging. I would love to hear feedback from you, honey, on what you're meaning about the challenging. Like, is the information coming in on Mondays challenging, or is it challenging for you in your own life to do integration? So I would love to hear from you guys. This is the point in time after I start talking, that I start talking, that I can start going back and looking at your comments again and start interacting with you. So I love interacting. So that's good. Okay.